Welcome Virgo to your February 2020 reading. Guys, welcome so much and thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to be doing things slightly differently for those of you that are already following my readings and are, connected to this channel. You'll notice we're working in a slightly different way. That's what I've been called to do with some of the readings this month. All of these cards I've already dowsed, and as I was preparing them, the spirit animal guide that literally launched itself out of the pack for you guys was actually Chameleon Spirit, Act As If. This is kind of like, this is very big on manifestation. This is very big in terms of the law of attraction. It's very connected to the way in which the law of attraction asks us to energetically align with what we desire before it has actually manifested. I think it's one of the things we find really tricky because we don't really dwell with what we have until we have it in that way energetically. But we'll see what other cards show up and runes. But that is the energy of the spirit animal that is with you. So guys, for those of you that are returning to my readings and are already following them, thank you so much for your likes, shares, comments, for subscribing. You guys, subscribing really does help to maintain the channel, and it helps me to continue to put free stuff into the world. Anyone who's new to my channel, anyone who's new to the A to Z of emotional health, I'm Jenny Florence. I put a lot of free stuff into the world. Do check out the information box. Ooh, lovely runes. I put a lot of free stuff into the world. If you check out the information box, you'll be able to find out all about it and access stuff for yourselves. And I also give away a free private reading, and I will be drawing names out of a hat, subscriber names, to receive some of the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards. As soon as they are live, I'll be giving away a couple of packs every month, I think probably through this whole year, because it's a limited edition print, a limited edition run, so I'll be keeping some back, just as a way of saying thank you to you guys. So let's move on now. I'm just going to actually... Okay, runes are speaking to us, but I'm going to be... I'm just going to be drawing one to start with. Okay, we have the rune of breakthrough. Wow, sitting on Chameleon Spirit. That's a pretty powerful connection because it's kind of telling you what you need to do to create that breakthrough. Now, I'm actually going to... We will be drawing more runes, but right now I'm just going to draw some cards out. Bear with me if I'm a little bit quiet while I do this. All these cards have been dowsed for, shuffled. Oops, oh my goodness me. May I just apologise for the camera launching itself? It's because the microphones are on those little clip-on mics that then plug in, so that hopefully the sound quality is reasonably good. And I think as I leaned over to put the cards away, I've pulled the entire package with me. Okay, I'm just going to place these over here. It's our starting point. Okay, Chameleon Spirit and the rune of breakthrough. We will be drawing more runes, but we're going to draw them in a way that will connect us, or connect the cards together. That's what I've been called to do, so a little bit different. I'm also really receiving quite a strong calling to do some readings outside in nature, so I'm kind of thinking about, well, I'm trusting I'll be shown where to go to do that. thought about doing it whilst taking my dogs for a walk, but I have come to the conclusion that they're always far too interested in everything that's happening, and so you know, it's quite difficult to channel because there are interruptions. They decide that a cuddle is in order, and that's it. They're kind of off and waiting. Right, guys, destiny, very, very important energy here. Let me make sure that we are completely focused and in camera. Excuse me while I move it around slightly. Just want to make sure everything is here for you guys to see. So we have destiny. Okay, we have integrity in reverse. We have the maiden, and we have the father. Okay, again, make sure that you can see all those cards. Yes, you can, I think. Okay. Actually, I'm hearing. Okay, no, it's this way. No. Temperance is the right way up. That's what I'm hearing. Wow, guys. Big happenings. Big happenings. This is lovely. You're really shifting. I feel like you guys are motoring in terms of manifestation, and yet you're not quite yet seeing the visible results of your very, very, very hard efforts. Okay? Your hard works and efforts. So let's connect in with destiny first of all. This is a beautiful card. I want to just say this is an affirmation. You are on the right pathway. You have made massive life changes, and these massive life changes of transformation, they are in line with your destiny. They're in line with why you came here. This is your soul's journey of evolution, and the things that you are embarking on at the moment, the things you are initiating, the things you're called to do, the stuff you're weighing up, the stuff you're trying to balance, this is all part of your life calling. Now, I want to just talk a little bit, because I'm kind of hearing quite a clear message in terms of, it's like definition of a life calling. Now, for some of you guys, that's a very distinct pathway. I'm actually being shown a pathway. I can see a pathway. It's aligning with this card, with the stones just beneath it. This actually reminds me of the entrance to a long barrow that's quite close to where I live. It's a very, very special, very energetically powerful long barrow. It was a burial long barrow, but the entrance is just like this, and there is a particular, it's not a day every year, there is a day every so many years when astrologically things align, and you do get, it's like light comes through into this long barrow and it hits a particular space within it and it lights it up differently. I only know about this because I know someone who, you could say synchronistically, coincidentally, was there on that particular day, and she experienced this and told me about it, or told me and several people the story of this. It was extraordinary, the way the light fell. Now, it's a few years ago, and I have to admit, I can't remember, nor really do we want billions of people trying to traipse there on that day. It may not actually astrologically happen for, another 100 years. I can't remember the exact details, but I remember her in a brief conversation explaining what had happened. It was exactly this. It's this pivotal moment in time when things are aligning for you. Destiny isn't always, for some of you, as I said, I'm seeing a pathway. It's definitely a guided pathway. You're moving in a particular direction with purpose and reason, and you're making those changes. For some of you, it's more about, the pathway is to do with a state of mind, a state of being, allowing yourselves to be happy, allowing yourselves to enjoy, trusting that you can follow. It's almost like you're allowed to be happy. You're allowed to make decisions that are right for you. Temperance, there's a weighing up, there's still a balancing out, there's still you're sifting through things, you're being given experiences. And I want to say they've been coming through quite thick and fast, but you're being given experiences that allow you to create definition in terms of your desires. And this is all areas of life. So for some of you, it's quite career orientated. For others, it's literally like you're who you really are, aligning with yourself, being true to yourself. We then move to the card of integrity. I'm going to be drawing runes, as you know, for those of you that follow my readings. Normally runes we read right to left. Today I'm going to be drawing runes that connect these cards and give us greater, more specific kind of guidance. But let's move just here to the card of integrity in reverse and the card of the Tower. What I hear is that I don't think it's your integrity that's being called into question. Even though it's in reverse, it would suggest that there are some actions around you that are from people who are maybe, I actually want to say it's not so much lacking in integrity, it's lacking in awareness. That's what I'm really hearing. And this doesn't fit with you anymore. You know, the internal changes taking place within you in terms of you aligning with your purpose, you know, fundamentally. You know, our purpose here, you could say, is fundamentally to love and be loved and to be happy. Because if we are sitting in that energetic resonance of love, of happiness, of joy, even when we are doing things that are either mundane or whatever, we are sitting in a resonance that is of a very, very high vibration, and it means we tend to attract everything to us that we want. Something is shifting within you though. February reading, now we have a full moon in Leo on the 9th of March. We have a new moon in Pisces on the 23rd. Anyone that's interested in the astro energy, I've done an astro energy update where I've spoken about the energy, and I may well do a mid-month one. If you go to the main channel page and sift through the readings, you'll come to the energy update. I've spoken in much more depth about the incoming flavour of the astro energy, how to work with it. We have a big Mercury retrograde coming, but Mercury is retrograde in Pisces. There's a real flavour of, it's like coming back to integrity. It's very interesting how that energy is affecting each of these readings as I'm working through the signs in very different ways. So what I'm going to say is, month of February, when you get to Mercury retrograde, and we'll come into the shadow of that just after the full moon in Leo on the 9th. This card of integrity in reverse. Sometimes the energy, the Neptunian energy, Neptune rules Pisces, combined with Mercury in retrograde, it could mean that something is presented to you that isn't entirely clear or above board. It's just hard to see through it. And so there's just an awareness of this. What actually happens is, though, it confirms something. It creates something within you that I think confirms something within you. Let's just draw some runes for these. Okay, first rune we have Gateway, sitting on Temperance and Destiny. Weighing things up. This card is already weighing things up, but weighing things up from a very personal perspective. This is like a very personal part of your journey. And this month is bringing a shift internally to you, or you're being invited to create that shift. That's the chameleon spirit. Act as if. Breakthrough point. It's like you decide to do something very, very differently, but the change is from the inside out. Okay, we have the rune of possessions. The rune of possessions. Okay, so you're needing to nurture something. Sometimes the rune of possessions speaks of unexpected rewards and gains, surprises. There's nourishment. It's a rune of nourishment. So whatever happens around you, I'm going to say, even if it doesn't really resonate with you, someone's actions don't resonate with you, they're actually a gift. They are helping you to define your own position. It brings you clarity. Okay, I'm just going to check in. We are using both of these runes. So we have the rune of separation, sitting with the Maiden and the Knight of Cups. And we then have the energy of the Father sitting on the Ten of Wands in reverse. And we have the rune of defense. This is interesting because, again, this suggests that you are developing an aversion to things that aren't resonating with you. That's your definition. There's a really clear message. If something comes into your world and it's not resonating with you, don't be drawn into it. Yeah, I want to say just hold your higher vision. Don't be pulled in. It's like somebody presses your buttons this month at some point. I would suggest maybe looking at the way the reading flows through the month. I would suggest maybe around the full moon in Leo, very powerful moon. The full moon in Leo, again, for those of you that are following the little astro bits that I do and maybe are working with the Art of Manifestation Astro-Moon diary, there's a rundown of the astrology every month in the diary. You'll know that this is a moon where, this is a full moon if you're manifesting with the moon. It's a full moon where you get to really identify and balance what I would call kind of ego stuff versus your higher self. And you get to align the two. It's not a negative. It's like, yeah, you literally align the two together. You start to align your healthy ambitions, desires, goals with your purpose, your calling, your destiny. That's the energy of the full moon. Surprises, unexpected surprises, rewards, gains, much deserved. So I think maybe something comes to you, but there is a good outcome of something, ironically enough, that doesn't resonate with you. It either causes you to change direction, or it causes you, again, breakthrough. Often speaks of taking a different direction, course correcting, or sometimes an entirely new direction. Checking in with chameleon spirit again, act as if. Don't be in a despondent place if something happens that feels like it's an interruption. There is nourishment within it. This rune would suggest things are coming to you. As long as you are aligned, within yourself, centered. The maiden is gorgeous. There's such a fresh, alive, gentle, kind of innocent energy in the maiden. It's like learning to play again, learning to relax. And the Knight of Cups is really the energy of, I think this is your energy, guys, actually, without any question. I wasn't sure whether this was someone coming into your world. It could be both. But I think for some of you, it is you. It is you. You relax in some way, and that kind of energetically opens the doors for a new phase of, I want to say, consistent, grounded, kind of, again, there's a lot of happiness. There's a light energy here as we move through the month. The rune of separation speaks of letting something go to which we had an emotional attachment. Sometimes it speaks of real property. Any of you guys that are moving, house moving, I'm going to say, despite the Mercury retrograde, I reckon it's going to go ahead. I think you'll find the right place. You might have to tackle a little bit of a lack of integrity, or what you perceive to be things not being shown to you, quite honestly, that house buying and selling, real estate, renting, all this stuff. It can be a bit of a quagmire of stuff that we have to wade through, but it's going to come through. So that's what this reading would be suggesting. For others, it's about entering a phase where you kind of, you come through and beyond something, and you start to relax a little bit. The pressure eases. There's a sense of greater certainty, in fact, certainty is not the right word. I think you develop a sense of greater trust. And it's through this aversion to things that don't resonate with you and the personal choices you make that allow you to do that. Now we have, or to move into that zone within yourself. This is where chameleon spirit is sitting. This is the breakthrough moment. Actually, I'm just going to move this card. It's very interesting. Sometimes I'm called very distinctly to move a card and place it in a new direction or a new position in the reading. Before I do, guys, I just would really like you to, I do teach a lot of energy work in terms of people listening to themselves. So let's move our runes. Just for a minute, pause and check in with, how does it feel looking at the cards as they are. Okay? Just connecting in. Just listen to your body, listen to what it feels. And I'd like to know if you feel a different shift of energy as I move this card and this rune into this position. You know, it'd be interesting, you know, do you give feedback if it's had an impact? We create an energetic flow here. You know, it's like something is going to lift this month. And part of the lifting is your own personal choice in acting as if, not being drawn into the energy of something that isn't running smoothly or somebody else's lack of something. Lack is the right word, just someone else's lack. Whether that's stuff, energy, position, integrity, whatever it is. Don't be drawn into, you know, baggage. Don't be drawn into someone else's stuff. And again, the father energy, boundaries. For me, this card really speaks of boundaries. Steady progress, solid work, knowing you're on that pathway, consistent, reliable provision. There's moving into this space. I know I said to you, I think this Knight of Cups is your energy. For some of you, it could be someone coming in. If it is someone coming into your world, they are boundaried, they are steady, and their presence in your world enables you to begin to relax and let go of some kind of a stress or an attitude or a belief system or even a somebody or a circumstance that has been holding you back. Something that doesn't resonate with you. It's the letting go of that. And letting go doesn't, I mean, for some of you, like I said, like moving house, it will be a proper letting go. For others, it's just a choosing not to be engaged with that anymore. You don't have to. You have a choice. You can be as you wish to be. Act as if. That shifts and creates energetically the breakthrough that you need. Did you hear that? I don't know if you heard that. The runes have just offered themselves to us again, so we'll draw some more. I love it when they just shift around all by themselves. You may not hear it because the microphones are sort of quite close to me, but yeah, they chunter away sometimes, and they just have. So, defense, as I said, you develop an aversion, but this is helping your contrasting experience. 10 of Wands, some aspect of worry is lifted. Something's removed. And I'm delighted to say that. You are in a more grounded, by the end of February, you are in a more grounded place, which is quite interesting given the Mercury retrograde energy. Seems to be affecting the signs in very different ways, which of course it will. But for me, it's been very powerful to listen to the way in which the readings are coming through. Mercury retrograde, back everything up, of course, take longer for your journeys. But somehow for you guys, there's some aspect of awareness that comes to you that enables you to choose not to buy into something. And that does create some energetic shift within you. It's like you relax. Okay, wonderful. Authenticity. Hold your head up high. Walk tall and be your authentic self. This card asks you to shed the masks that you believed you were required to wear. Walk to the beat of your own drum and do not be afraid to shine. In doing so, you give others permission to do the same. Awesome. Sitting here under the lineup of destiny, temperance, again, finding your own place of space, of harmony, of authenticity, the rune of gateway, reflection, and stepping through the gateway. Lovely, lovely energy. And again, really helpful cards here. Grace. When we sit in relationship with grace, we see every situation through the eyes of love, fostering our desire to meet life with understanding, compassion, and kindness. This card asks that you view your situation with grace. Will understanding bring compassion? How would love view your possible choices? What would kindness suggest you do? Again, whoever this is, whatever circumstances, situation this is, it's actually a blessing. It might not feel like it, but it's a blessing, and the learning of it is that you choose to step energetically into a very different zone within yourself. I'm actually going to shift this card up here. That feels even better. It's like you take an ownership of this breakthrough. Which direction? You have reached a turning point in your life. Do not be afraid of taking the wrong path. Again, interesting, this is going to sit under the rune of breakthrough. When we course correct, we find a new direction, a new avenue, or it becomes consolidated for us. Do not be afraid of taking the wrong path. When you recognize the learning to be found at every step and in every moment of your journey, you will realize there is no wrong way. Only the infinite gain of your personal growth and evolution. Very lovely. And take time out. Give yourself permission to stop. I love that the Father card, he's in a rested position. This is about consistency, growth, boundaries, moving forwards, but it's also about resting, taking your time to make decisions, letting go of the worry that would otherwise shroud you, you know, the fog, fear, obligation, guilt. Yes, in fact, I'm definitely connecting in with fear, obligation, guilt. Let that go. For some of you, again, there's been something of one of the qualities of fear, obligation, or guilt that's been sort of colouring your perspective. And maybe some people have been slightly around you, or a circumstance or a situation has slightly used something of that, or the situation is causing you to feel that, which means you then slightly get tangled in it and it shrouds your vision. But there's a new freshness of the energy coming in. You don't have to buy into that. Take time out, give yourself permission to stop. Sometimes we just need to slow down and rest up. And yet so often we keep on pushing and pushing, even though there are clear signs that we should stop. Taking time out now will allow you to replenish your energy and return revitalized and with an abundance of focused energy. Very, very clear indication and very much in tune with the Mercury retrograde of slowing down. The universe asks us to slow down. Now the runes were speaking to us, so we will draw more. I'm noticing we're not really in camera. I apologize, guys. I hope that's a little better. I reposition. Oh, and actually as I'm repositioning, there we go, I think that's kind of there. Two runes have actually shown themselves to us. They've literally moved out of the bag of their own accord. The first is the rune of initiation. This is a rite of passage. I'm going to place it here. And the second rune is the rune of wholeness. This is your destiny, the path you must follow. The rune of initiation, the rite of passage. It's a real internal shift this month for you guys, connecting into the law of attraction, being what you wish to see in the world, and being what you wish to create, aligning yourself. It's that kind of, I'm trying to think, there's a saying that's coming to mind. It's, fake it till you make it is what's coming to mind. I'm not suggesting you fake it, because everything here is about authenticity. But there's something about I'm just voicing it, I'm chuckling away as well, but it's the connecting to this chameleon spirit, where energetically, even if we haven't yet manifested something, it's like we tune into the energy of what we desire as if we already have it. And that creates a window of opportunity energetically for the universe to kind of synchronize, for the universe to manifest and orchestrate around us. It's that kind of feeling. If we're clogged up, fear, obligation, guilt, clogged up with worry, then we are, if we're being drawn into other people's stuff, it's like we are not free energetically to receive and to be available to receive. That is what these runes are speaking about. The initiation, the internal change, is this energetic shift within you where you are, stuff can still be going on around you, but you are no longer encumbered by it. It doesn't get under your skin. It's like you let that go. That's the biggest separation. For some of you, that may manifest in very real terms. You are separating from things that no longer serve you in real terms. But for others, it's just this internal energetic shift. And actually for all of you, that's the source of the real changes. Even when we're doing things like moving house, things can feel like they're delayed. When we shift the energy within us to that space of openness to receive, things begin to align. And I would say, any delays, hold-ups, trust take a laid-back approach. trust. Everything is moving as it should. You really are on the right pathway. That's really being shown here. The Destiny card and the Rune of Wholeness, the pathway you must follow. So something really lovely about this month. It's a deeply personal month, Virgo, it really is. So, you know, Sun in Virgo, Moon in Virgo, Virgo Rising. This is a very personal month of your own energetic shifts within. You get to realign, reorganize almost your own energy in ways that create a shift. You release worry, you relax into some space of what I would call more gentle evolution. And I think this creates an energetic shift where things really begin to kind of happen for you. It'll be very interesting to see how the March reading emerges. So guys, so much love to you. Anyone that's following the emergence of the Art of Manifestation cards, I had hoped, as I think I said at the beginning, that they'd be sort of birthed into the world during January, and there were delays not with the cards, it was delays with quality. It was the booklet. It really wasn't. There's a book that comes with it, but actually that's for me been an interesting journey, because I've ended up sourcing the book elsewhere from a very small dedicated team who use only sort of recycled materials or, you know, renewable resources. So somehow the whole thing has suddenly begun to align in terms of what I would call the core values of what I think this channel, this community is about. The pathway of the spiritual warrior, the pathway of integrity. So kind of watch this space. Guys, if you are subscribed, thank you from the bottom of my heart. That really helps to keep the channel going and helps me to put free stuff into the world. Thank you for liking, sharing. You are awesome. Your support of me and of one another is you just blow me away. And yeah, if you press the little bell icon as well, you should get notification of any sort of updates, energy updates, new readings, and of course the launch of the cards. There is also now an email list that if you are interested in the cards and want the heads up, because it will be a limited edition run, the first print, there is now an email list. You can register for your interest and you'll be notified absolutely as soon as things are progressing, and you will also have an opportunity to reserve a pack and also to pre-order at a reduced rate. So much love to you guys. Namaste. Have an amazing and a great shift, and then a relaxed, steady February.